Hey, what's up? Robert, Crypto Ecom Miller here, and in this video, we're going to be going over the top tokens that I think are going to get a lot of volume this bull run, and ultimately how you want to just take your profits from them and move them either into a stable coin or Bitcoin. So with that being said, let's get into it, guys. Look, now I want to go over the market real quick. We're at about $3 trillion recently. And just after this sell-off here, we're now at about 2.6 trillion. So not too worried, a little bit of a correction before this bull run. In fact, Bitcoin always has a sell-off right before it goes parabolic. And again, that tends to happen with most cryptocurrencies, and that tends to happen in every cycle. And if you watch any crypto, news on YouTube, or you watch any videos, that's probably an overall sentiment, right? Massive sell-off, and then it's parabolic gains, right? But given that we are in this last leg up here, we are going to start seeing it really mimic a lot of 2017. So when these are layered on together, you can see that the chart is very, very similar. You can see that mid-July we had the dip, early September rise, dip, rise, dip, and this is what happened in 2017. So if history repeats itself, we're going to start seeing that parabolic growth with Bitcoin, and I do think that next level is going to be that $78,000 mark after it breaks through our current resistance of about $67,000. Now, again, it's been fluctuating anywhere between that $58,000, $57,000 to about $65,000 over the past 2 months. And so I think when we do get out of this wedge here, then we will start to see, or that support and resistance zone there, then I do think we're going to start hitting that $78,000 level, and that's when we're going to start seeing things be a major indicator to go to the upside. Now, with that being said, I want to go over 3 tokens and 3 coins that I think are going to get a lot of volume and what I'm currently invested in. And again, full disclosure, I'm not trying to show these coins. These are coins that are actually pretty big projects. But given, again, the market and where it's going, I do think that they'll continue to get a lot of volume, and I think they are undervalued. So first one, other coins. First off, I do have other coins other than these 3 in my portfolio, like diversified across some of these top tokens here and these top projects. But I do want to cover 3 in particular. The first one being Solana. Solana, I think, is just really going to help a lot with the gas fees, and with the DeFi projects that are out right now, and we see the gas fees that are tremendously high. I do think that a lot of these DEXs and a lot of these other projects that are all decentralized, like staking and things like that, if you're correlated on Ethereum, you'll probably lose a lot of your returns, or a big chunk of them, depending on how much you're making, given all the congestion on the network, right? Ethereum gas depends on the volatility and the amount of volume on that particular day, second, etc., that you're actually doing the transaction. And recently, I was actually part of a project that we were buying some NFTs with, and when we were going to make that initial transaction, when I first did it, it was about $200 in gas fees, but quickly after, it was like $13,000 in gas fees. And I didn't make that transaction, of course, but that indicates to me that as this network gets more congested, and as more people are going to start trying to trade out of these, we're going to start seeing really high gas fees. And so if you are in the DEX type of protocols, I would put a very small portfolio allocation over to that, because if you're not holding it long term, you may get wrecked by gas fees if you're trying to cash out. So be sure to just calculate that risk. And so I think things that are built on Solana, and Solana in particular, because it's a lot faster, time to finality is a lot better than Ethereum, and the gas fees aren't crazy, I do think that the projects that are underneath Solana are going to be a lot better, and honestly just mitigates your risk a lot better, in my opinion, because you're not having to solely depend on high gas fees in order to make a transaction go through. So that's why I think Solana is going to be a big winner. Now, I do have Ethereum. I think Ethereum is going to be going to about 15 to 20K. But again, I do think that Solana is going to get a lot more volume, given that the gas fees are going to be pretty high with Ethereum. Another project that I'm very interested in and very into right now is Avalanche. Over the past month, if you were in our trading group, we had called it here at about $85 to have this upside of the swing. But the reason why we called it was because it's a very close competitor to Solana. If you do any research on Avalanche, there's a bunch of videos, but basically they're competitors, and the way that they're actually building their solutions is really, really well funded, and they're actually getting, again, if we look at their website, they're getting funding, they're getting support, they have a big team, it's continuously growing, and the support behind them is really why I do feel confident in holding these during the bull run. Now, when we see different coins pop up, this is what carries them past the actual bull run. If you want to hold it extremely long term, I'm going to be selling for profits. But there's been many crypto projects, especially if you're in alternatives, that get volume just for the sake of getting volume, but they don't coordinate and they don't correlate to any growth past that. And so being sure that you actually sell out of those coins and move into Bitcoin or USDT for a short period of time to get into a different coin is going to be super important, and you want to lock in profits, guys. So that's what is going on between those two projects that I'm holding. But I did say that there was 3 that I'm interested in. I hold a couple other ones across the board, but the other one that I'm really into right now is LRC. And this was one of the buddies in our chat that actually had put me onto it, Loopring. Loopring was currently actually recently listed on the Coinbase. But the reason why I'm holding this one for me is a lot more speculative than my other investments that are in the crypto space because of GameStop. Okay, GameStop has been constantly in the news, and all the people that are short selling that stock and doing call options on it and things like that on the short squeeze. You know, it's all getting news, it's all getting attention, and you know, it's allowing GameStop to make some pretty good moves into different sectors and spaces. So one of the biggest things that they have going for them is that they are, you know, looking to do an NFT marketplace, an NFT solution for the business. And with this LRC, we just had a major transaction hit a couple days ago of about 61.3 million. Because there is a collaboration report between these two apparently that is supposed to come out, and once that launches, I do think, again, with the NFT space, with the brand, with the name, it is going to get a lot of hype. And so we have seen the hype behind LRC actually have some speculation in the price. I've bought a little bit here on the dip, so I'm a little bit under right now, but I do think that once that launches, once that announces, not only is GameStop, the stock, probably going to move, but it's also going to help with LRC, and it is going to get a lot more momentum. And through this bull cycle, coins get volume just to get volume, given that, you know, once it goes into Bitcoin, it trickles down. So something like that already has more news coming out, that's a little bit more speculative and is going towards that direction. I personally think that we'll probably see a $5 to $7 loop ring, and that would again give a pretty good return. But again, my overall sentiment and thesis is once I make some profits, I'm going to sell those off and put those either into Bitcoin or hold into USDC until things start to cool off a bit. But again, I do think it's going to happen over the next few months, so I am not worried about it. So if we are looking at this chart again and we are going to the upside, I think 78,000 is going to be a great indicator to understand that this is going to happen within a short period of time. Typically these bull runs and these massive, you know, pumps happen within about 30 to 40 days. And so being sure that as soon as we see indicators and as soon as we see certain prices hit, that we know that it's heating up and that you know when to secure profits along the way. You're not perfectly going to top, you know, the very, very top. You're not going to time it, but you want to sell along the top, secure some profits, and then start stacking Bitcoin. So again, guys, that's what my overall sentiment and thesis is. And those are the 3 projects that I've added and I'm adding to in my portfolio, along with the other ones that I hold. So if you found value, go ahead and like, subscribe, hit the little red button and the bell. We're going to continue to make more videos over the next few weeks, especially with cryptocurrency, as we continue to see the developments of the market happen and more prices and profits being secured. So with that being said, have a good one, guys. I'll see you in the next video.